Hello, friends. I hope you guys are all fine and doing well. So, today I'm here with another presentation, and today we are going to talk about the relation of other social sciences with political science. We will see what's the relation between, let's say, economics and political science. We'll also talk about the relationship of sociology with social science, with political science, the relationship of geography and other social sciences with political science. So in this video we're going to talk about this these concepts of political science. I hope you guys, after the completion of the video, you guys will be able to comprehend different concepts related to this topic. So let's start. So, relation of political science with other social sciences. Actually, political science is has borrowed many theories and concepts and methods and techniques from other social sciences. I mean, there are some methods and some concepts and some techniques in political science that have been borrowed from other social sciences. For example, decision making theory from it has been borrowed from an organizational field. Structural functional approach which we use in political science has been borrowed from sociology and anthropology. Another theory, which is action theory, it has also been borrowed from sociology. There is another concept in political science which is known as system analysis, which has been borrowed from communication sciences. Different concepts have been borrowed from different social sciences. Even the new concepts like political culture, political socialization, political communication, and political development, these new concepts have also been borrowed from some other social sciences. So we can say that there is a close relation between other social sciences and political science. In other words, we can say that the so-called behavioral revolution in social science and the growth of empirical inquiry to the issues of politics, which have given rise to interdisciplinary approach in political science. So we can say that the behavioral revolution that took place in social science and the scientific inquiry or empirical inquiry of different political issues, these two things have given actually rise to the interdisciplinary approach in political science. So let's now see the relationship of political science with other social sciences. Political science and history. First, we will see the relationship between political science and history. Sir John Seeley once said that history without political science has no fruit, and politics without history has no root. So, Sir John Seeley is actually a strong supporter of history and politics. I mean, um, uh, in this from this definition we can understand that how much is history important for political science, and without political science history is nothing, and without history political science is nothing. So these two sciences, or these two social sciences rather, have a very close relationship between each other. Actually, political science deals with the state and institutions related with it, which have their roots actually in history. So the state institutions, or so the things that political science actually deals with, there are some sort of roots or some sort of relations of those institutions with history. So there is some sort of history to that institution or to that concept. So history and political science go hand in hand, they go together. There is a close bond between history and political science. So, in order to understand any institution or any concept fully, one must understand its historical evolution. So, if you want to understand a political concept in political science, you have to understand its historical evolution as well. You have to understand its history as well. So, these two social sciences are very much linked to each other. I mean, history, through its vast resources, provides a good scope for comparative analysis of political structures and institutions. So we can say that using history, when if we are using history in order to understand a political activity, or in order to understand a political phenomena, we can use history in order to understand a political structure, or in order to understand the formation of a political institution by doing a comparative analysis. Edward Augustus Freeman stated that history is past politics and politics is present history. This is a very important saying which you guys need to remember, that it was Augustus Freeman who said that history is actually past politics, and the politics that we are doing today is the present history. That means after 10 years, the politics that we are doing today, after 10 or 20 years, it is going to be read as history. So these two social sciences have very close relationship with each other. Okay, so this was all about the relationship of political science and history. Now let's move on. Now let's see the relationship between political science and sociology. Sociology is actually the mother of all social sciences. So sociology is the science which deals with human beings and their social relationships. On the other hand, political science deals with the political activities of men. Political science also studies state, government, and power mostly, while sociology provides a sociological background to the forms of those governments, to the nature of those governmental organs, to the laws and spheres of the state activities, which are determined by social processes. So, in order to understand a state, or in order to understand the process of a government, or in order to understand the concept of power, one has to actually understand the sociological background of that form of that government, or one has to actually understand the social background of the nature of that government, or one has to understand the social background of those laws and other state activities. So in this way we can say that political science and sociology are closely related to each other. According to a famous sociologist, Maurice Ginsburg, he says that historically, sociology has its main roots in politics and philosophy of history. So he says that sociologically, if we look into the history, we can see that sociology has its actual roots in politics and philosophy of history. So this was about the relationship between political science and sociology. So other things that are very close to political science, or that are very interrelated between political science and sociology, are, see, the state and government actually make laws for the welfare of the society. The government removes social evils such as poverty, unemployment, dowry, and so on. I mean, these political, or these rather social evils, are prevalent in society. So actually the state and the government make laws for the welfare of the society, for the welfare of the people, and the government in return removes all these social evils. So the government sometimes, or most of the time, gives financial assistance to people at the time of natural calamities, as when for example floods take place in a country, or there is some sort of famine, or any type of cyclone or drought, or any other social activities, sorry, social calamities, any type of climatic disaster, or any type of natural disaster, whenever prevails in a country or a society, at that time the government comes to rescue, and the government gives financial assistance to the people who have suffered from such natural calamities. So in the same way, actually political science depends upon sociology, and sociology, in on the other hand, provides the material to political science. So these two social sciences are very much closely related to each other. Actually, political science depends upon sociology, and sociology provides the material for political science. So sociology actually studies all kinds of social relationships in a general way. But on the other hand, political science studies only political aspects of social relationships in a particular way. So sociology actually deals with social relationships in a general way. Political science deals with political aspects of social relationships, but only in a particular way. So sociology studies both organized and disorganized societies. However, political science studies only the politically organized societies. So this is the difference between sociology and political science, and this can also be seen as a relationship or interdependence between these two social sciences. We'll see what's the relationship between political science and psychology. See, political science and psychology are closely related to each other, and their merging has actually given rise to a new discipline, and their merging has actually led to the invention, or led to the discovery of a new discipline or new subject, which is known as political psychology. Actually, political psychology tries to use these theories and facts to explain and understand political problems. I mean, political psychology has has very much focused in the recent times. It has taken political science to a different different place, to different heights. I mean, modern psychologists actually study leaders in groups as well as individuals. So political psychology has actually helped political science students and political science scholars actually to understand the psychology, or to understand the psyche of important leaders, or the leaders who have ruled in the past. So psychology has played an important part in the leadership trait analysis. I mean, with the help of political psychology, now a political science student can do leadership trait analysis. He can understand how leaders behave, why leaders take different decisions, why some leaders are successful, why some leaders are unsuccessful. So all these things can be done with the help of political psychology. So the study of actually social psychology often has a more direct relevance for the political scientists than does an individual psychology. Actually, psychology is used in leadership analysis, or leadership trait analysis, that I told you already, to understand the psychology of different leaders. So psychology plays an important part. Rather, political psychology plays an important part in political science, in order to understand the leadership analysis, or in order to understand the leadership traits, how different leaders behave while taking a decision, why different leaders are good at governing their states, why some leaders are not good at governing their states. So all these phenomena, all this thing, with the help of political psychology, we can understand the psyche of different leaders of the world. So this was the relationship about political science and psychology. Now, political science and economy, or economics, the scholars of ancient Greece regarded economics as a subdivision of political science. But then it became a discipline on its own. But this should be remembered that the Greek ancient scholars, they regarded economics as a subdivision of political science. Both political science and economy are concerned with the welfare of mankind and its relationship with the society. So it was actually Adam Smith who regarded them as part of the same subject. You might be knowing about Adam Smith's famous book, Wealth of Nations. If you haven't read that, I would suggest you to read that book as well, read that book as well. So Adam Smith actually was the guy who regarded both political science and economy as the part of the same subject. Sir James Stewart believes that there exists the same relationship between economics and political science as exists between members of family. So according to Sir James Stewart, he thinks that the relationship that the family members have between each other, political science and economics have the same relationship. So this shows that these two social sciences are closely related to each other. They are in a strong relationship with each other. They are interdependent upon each other. Laswell also defined politics as the process of deciding who gets what, when, and how, whereas economics deals with the distribution of scarce resources, deciding what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So actually, Laswell also in this definition tells us that there is a strong relationship between political science and economics. I mean, there is also a subfield of political science which is known as political economy. If you are an international relations student, or if you want to do any sort of specialization in political economy, then you have to take that economics thing into consideration. So what actually I am trying to say is that there is a strong bond between political science and economics. So this was about the relationship of political science with economics. The government in economics and political science, actually the government controls foreign trade, currency system, lending and borrowing. So some or the other way, the government or the political things, I mean the political guys or the leaders, they have some sort of control over the foreign trade. Now when we talk about foreign trade and currency system and lending and borrowing, that means we are talking about finances, that means we are talking about economics. So when economy is controlled by the government, that means that there is a strong relationship, there is some sort of bond between political science and economics. Actually, the concept of individual liberty also proves that there is a close relationship between political science and economy. So we can also say that the relationship of political science and economy can be proved by the concept of individual liberty. I mean, for the happiness and prosperity of the people, both political and economic liberties are essential. So we can say that we can say that terminologically there is a relationship between the two sciences which deals with similar concepts like socialism, capitalism, communism, and Marxism. So this was all about the relationship between economics and political science. Now we will take a look about the relationship of political science with geography. In a rapid changing international environment, the issues of economic and political social security are gaining prominence. Okay, and in this context, the tools of political science and geography are increasingly becoming important in order to understand and analyze global problems and arriving at political alternatives. So geography has been used in recent times in order to understand different political concepts, in order to understand different political phenomena. Actually, the two disciplines have been associated through subfields of political geography, which covers geographical differences in voting patterns, for example, and therefore geopolitics, which examines both. Sorry, geopolitics, which examines how the great powers influence other parts of the planet or other parts of the world. So, geopolitics, you might have heard about it. Geopolitics has been used a lot in the recent years in political science. I mean, geopolitics, geopolitical strategy, geopolitical importance, all these concepts have been used in political science. That means that geography plays an important part in political science. I mean, these days, in the context of globalization, we can see that interdisciplinary understandings of social environment issues are becoming increasingly key to solving the they are becoming a key for what? They are becoming a key for solving the problems of future, such as political instability in the parts of developing world, which are or as a result of climate change. So these things or the concept of globalization also shows that there is a strong bond between geography and political